welcome back to the So Far So Good podcast. I'm Ekta.
This is Nisha.
I'm Aryan.
I'm doing that thing again where I just move up.
Get closer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let's just try to keep it like this.
Yeah.
Anyways, hey everyone, welcome to So Far So Good. Ekta already said that. So today I was in charge. So by the way, for those of you that don't know, we have this new system now where we are rotating which topic to do each week, and basically each of us is responsible. We're taking turns in choosing the topic. So last week's boring topic was
Oh my god, Didi was being so mean on that podcast episode. But I also agree.
No,
I was maybe putting in a little bit too many facts, being a little bit too preachy. So, anyways, that was my reflection.
Fine. It's fine. It's just me being extra. But this week's was my chance to choose a topic.
Yeah, and let's hear about Didi's genius.
I literally thought of this 2 hours ago. But today we're going to be talking about a subject that I feel like we are extremely, extremely familiar with, which is how to do amazing in school. It's like everyone's...
Dude, it's like we're all out of school. But hopefully anyone listening to this, and what if we want to get a higher education? You know?
And we all have like a lot of experience.
Yeah.
Like, you want tips from people that have really done it. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I wanted to do this before we got too old and we forgot about
Dude,
what
I
it was
feel
like.
that way. I've been graduating
Isn't that
for
crazy?
5 years.
It's crazy. How do you feel, Aryan?
I mean, I just graduated, so I'm still in like student mode, bro. But I think like once I start working, then it'll start to feel like, dang, like I'm not ever gonna do another class again. Maybe I will, but like for now, no.
Do you miss school?
Dude, it's been 2 seconds for him.
Not really, not yet.
Not yet.
Probably later. I'll probably start missing it. Like,
do you miss
later
school,
on.
Didi?
No, not really. I mean,
all of us hated it.
I didn't hate it. I wish almost I could do it all over again. But my biggest thing is just different major. I would just
do it all over again.
Oh, probably
you would do all the classes all over again.
Oh gosh, see that's the part. I don't remember. Yeah. I don't want to do OChem. That was
bro,
super difficult. But what about you, Ekta?
I also kind of no. I feel like if I did school again, I would do way better. That's but
then I wonder if everyone thinks that.
You think?
Wait, with all your present knowledge, obviously you do better because you already learned it once, right?
No, but like not everything you learn in school translates to the real world. So I feel like a lot of the stuff I learned in school, it doesn't really impact what I'm doing now, and a lot of the stuff I've learned at work doesn't really change what Like, it wouldn't make me any smarter going in, but maybe.
What?
I don't know.
I definitely feel like it would, because we understand the actual consequences of doing well in school, right? Yeah. Those that didn't do so well in school, they can see where they are now, and I would say most of the time they're not in a better place. But
do you think so? I actually think, you shouldn't stress about your grades too much in school, because after like a year out of college, it doesn't matter.
Well, you just invalidated this whole episode. You're like, don't worry about grades.
Matter,
and
guys.
No, don't listen to her.
No, grades are important. I'm not saying get bad grades. Just don't stress too much about it. And if you're in school, take the opportunity to learn as much as you can.
Nah. Okay. What's our perception on that? So that's your standing? You don't think...
Didi's like, don't take anything from school. What? What do you...
What? No.
What do you mean? What's my standing on what?
On grades. You're saying don't worry too much about your grades. Just focus on
it's case by case. Like, understand...
No. Didi's twisting everything.
It's case by case. Like, understand the field that you're in. Like, if I'm, like, doing a specific... Like, if I'm doing, like, bio or something and I want to be, like, a scientist... Obviously, my grades matter. They matter a lot, right? But if I'm doing something else...
Business. All the business.
I actually don't know. Like,
no, business... okay, if you're going
Dude, I'll say, like, computer science, like, your grades don't really matter that much.
What?
It's more, like, technical skills, I feel like.
But then how do you get technical... how do you prove technical skills?
Getting the interview, you might need to have a good GPA. But honestly, like, a lot of people don't even put their GPAs on their resume, and they do fine.
Yeah.
Right.
But honestly, like, computer science... If you're going into, like, an academic
Or
field,
med school, where you
like-
literally have to put
like if you want to do
your
research or you
score.
want to do like some type of like something in academia, then like they're like the first thing they're gonna look at is like how well you did in school, right? Because if you want to do research, you need to know like have a great foundation and everything like
Yeah,
that. But if
for
you're
sure.
going into like industry, if you're going to like specific stuff, maybe it doesn't matter as much.
For civil engineering, like I know, I'll look at a resume. I will spend 2 seconds looking at their GPA. If someone's GPA is a 3.5 versus a 4.0, I don't care. Like it does not. I don't even think about it twice. What I look at is their experience. Like even if you've just graduated college, for me, because I interviewed people. I've looked at resumes and like selected people. For me, I care more that you've even had a previous job to show that you
Yeah.
know how to work in a team. Like the GPA, I mean, it matters if it's below a 3.0, then I'm like, you know, you better work on that. Let's not get that. But
Oh, right.
I
No,
say-
that is true. Right?
Yeah.
But it's okay to just be average, honestly.
But even like a
Unless you're
3.2,
not
like you're gonna see the difference between a 3.2 and a 4.0, right? I mean,
Yes,
Yeah.
I would say, here's the thing. I would say try to get a 3.5. If we're putting numbers to it,
Isn't that
if
pretty
you're
high?
The 3
I mean, 3.5 is still
Pretty
like,
high.
You need to be working hard.
You need to be working hard. Yeah. Yeah.
A's
So,
and B's, right?
okay,
Mostly.
you know, I'll say
Mostly
3.4
A's.
to 4.0 range, you're good. Even 3.3, just don't go below that. That's a very random personal
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah, if it's a 2 point. But anyways, what you were saying about it doesn't really matter. No one's looking at that on your resume.
They don't spend more than like a
And
second looking.
honestly, at the end of the day, I feel like people just kind of. Did you graduate? Did you graduate college? And
Oh.
what did you study in a way? I feel like if someone just sees Bachelor of Communications or Bachelor of Arts or something like that, but I think.
Yeah, I know, you're right. It matters what classes you take. Like, you would rather see someone that took a bunch of hard classes and has like a lower GPA than someone that has like a 4.0, but then you look at the transcript and they took a bunch of like easy classes, like blow off classes, right?
Yeah, it depends on if you're trying to
But
get
then
into
again-
a higher education school. If you're just trying to get a job, no one's looking at your
Okay,
transcript.
so I think just to clarify to
I'm not-
people,
I don't know.
we're
For civil
talking
engineering.
right now. We're talking about after college, right? Like we're talking about in college. But when we start talking about study tips, we'll probably tap into high school and college as well.
Oh, high
But in terms
I do
of
think they're different. They're very different.
no, for sure.
In terms of how you study.
for sure,
Oh, for sure. Oh, but I will say,
I think
interview
grades
matters
ma-
more than anything.
Okay.
How you present yourself matters more than your GPA, everything. But to get your foot in the door, get a good GPA and
Right.
have a previous work experience.
I
or
almost
team.
feel like when you're first applying for jobs, I don't know if I did this, but I'm pretty sure people, because you don't have a lot to put on your resume, right? You gotta, when you first, after you graduate college,
yeah.
you gotta put your internship on there. And then I think your GPA, they almost look for it probably
Yeah.
because they're like, what else do I judge you off on? And what did you graduate with? Anyways, but okay, we're kind of getting all over the place.
Yeah. Let's
All
go
right.
back to the.
So we're gonna start with question number 1. What kind of a student were you? And did that change over time? I had to put the change over time for me.
Hear about Didi's whole journey.
Okay.
Okay, I can go first.
Okay,
I mean, I always like worked hard in school. Like my
Yeah.
grades mattered a lot to me. And I think that, I mean, I just had like a lot of friends that their grades also matter. I was just in an environment, even like in our family, grades matter in general. Throughout
Yeah.
high school, college. I mean, honestly, it's not like super complicated. Like, obviously, I cared about what my GPA was and my grades were.
So it was, you would say it was mostly parents, right? Or what made you focus
Want
on
to
your
do good
grades?
school.
Right.
Well, I mean, obviously, like elementary school is purely just like when you hang around people that like care about their grades, you become like competitive, you know. I mean, in elementary school, I'm like, I want to learn as much as I can. Like, I'm not like thinking that,
Yeah.
you know. I was
And
like, I want to get a
parents
really high
influence.
grade, you know. And then like as a byproduct of that, you also learn a lot of stuff too.
Yeah.
But I mean, middle school, then you start to learn more about how your like GPA matters and stuff.
Yeah.
And like college and things like that. Obviously, I wanted to go to a good college. And I know to get into good colleges, you need to have like really high grades.
You were thinking about that in middle school?
Like
Dang.
8th, 9th grade. Yeah, I mean. But at that point, y'all were
I
already in
barely
college.
knew what college meant. No, when I was
Yeah.
in
Dude,
middle school.
But at that point, I'm still thinking like competitively too. Is like I still want like a high grades and everything like
Yeah.
that. So
I feel like maybe for sure. I bet high schools and middle schools, school districts very differ, right?
Yeah.
I think we somehow got really lucky with the school district we went to, right? HEB, ISD, shut up.
So everyone's gonna know where we live.
Oh.
Just kidding, it's fine.
No, we don't live there
Yeah, yeah.
anymore.
yeah, we don't live there
and
anymore.
now we'll give
Anyways.
more clues.
But I feel like we went to a pretty good school. It was a public school, but ours was, I would say, top tier. The school had funding. I
Yeah.
don't think we ever struggled. There were AP classes, IB classes, which a lot of schools don't really offer. And there was a lot of diversity, right?
Yeah.
I feel like we got really
it
lucky
wasn't
with
like
that.
toxic grade wise. Like some schools are like toxic,
Oh,
where you're
yeah.
like everyone's
Oh.
thinking
Like
about
the
like what their
charter
rank
school,
is. And,
right?
Yeah,
That's what
yeah,
it's
private
called?
schools.
Private schools.
And then you have some schools that like don't even care at all, and they have like terrible
Exactly.
teachers and stuff. So we were in a good like mood.
Right.
But
right.
that's because we always took AP and IB courses, but regular classes, like the regular teachers, I don't know. I don't know how they were. Because I, you know, there was this one thing where you were put into a classroom, or like there was a day where you went to your classroom that wasn't your
Are
regular
you talking
Homeroom.
about
one.
gifted and talented?
No.
Homeroom, right?
Homeroom. No, is that what it is?
No, everyone had
That's-
homeroom.
in-
Gifted and talented?
In high school, okay, there was a
Which-
point where I would go to, I would not be with my normal friends. It'd be the entire like school broken up randomly
What?
by last names or
Yeah,
maybe
that's
some.
what homeroom is.
It's homeroom. Okay. Anyway.
Wait, but why are we talking
I'm
about
talking
homeroom?
about that because that's when I was. Those are the only times where I went to not AP IB classes, or I was with the regular kids, and
Oh.
it didn't give. And I'm not trying to, guys.
So, but no, look,
I'm
no,
not
no.
trying to say-
Hey, we're just being honest. That's what we called it.
I don't know
in,
what
in
to-
high
Yeah, that's
school,
what we
middle
call-
school.
that's
It
what
was
we refer to
that's
it.
that's the terminology. Maybe kids these days call it
Yeah.
something else. We're just saying that was from our experience. That's what we called it, right?
But I'm saying
Regular
the environment
kids.
was totally different. Like it's different from like what an AP IB class seems like. It kind of seemed like the teacher was kind of chilling, whatever. I don't know. So I don't know if the quality was perfect from bottom
Yeah.
up. I think
Yeah.
they focus more on that middle
Yeah.
where kids actually want to learn.
I feel like in elementary, that was where, what was it? I started getting competitive. I was competitive.
Elementary?
Yeah. Things like reading counts, right? We did
Yeah.
reading
Oh,
count
yeah.
points. Or in PE, who would run the most miles or whatever.
I
mean,
was super
it's like-
competitive.
but-
dude. Even reading counts and
But
the
guys,
run.
like, that's so interesting. Why were we so competitive?
that is something I
Do you think it has to be
about.
our parents? But then, I don't think our parents really cared that much about our grades in elementary.
They did.
You think so?
What?
Right,
I
always
literally
wa-
remember you
In
getting
elementary?
yelled at or something. I don't know what it was, but it's a core memory. I think he got a B+.
It's a core memory? Oh.
I feel like when you start to be good at something, you want to keep being good at it. You know? I mean, that's probably why. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't want to like fall off, you know, because like people start to see you as the person that gets high grades. Then you want to maintain that like.
Yeah. But I remember from the beginning, I was very into like getting high grades. Like I wanted to be top of the class.
Who knows? I mean,
It's
it
an
might just be in our
internal thing.
genes
It just
or
might
something.
be in our genes.
Yeah.
That could be it. Oh, you know what? No, it's probably like all the Bollywood movies we grew up watching too, you know?
Oh, our
because
influences?
it's the Asian culture, right?
I mean,
It's
yeah,
just
Asian culture maybe.
who,
You just,
like these movies just show success, and then our parents, obviously being first gen immigrants,
Emphasize
we
education.
always, I think it was just always drilled down to us that we were here to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
Mom and dad were mostly dad took a lot of times, right? I don't think mommy put that much pressure, but
No.
she went along because of Diddy. But it was always, you guys are gonna do amazing. You're gonna become a doctor. You're gonna be an engineer. There's no mediocrity.
it's high expectations, but it's not like micromanaging. You know, it's not like
It
they're
wasn't like
Girl,
that at
what are you
all.
talking
They're like, why
about?
aren't
I
you
felt micromanaged.
Really?
I felt
No.
maybe that was an older sister or sibling
Maybe, yeah.
experience.
Wait, but
I felt highly
did our
micromanaged.
dad like literally tell you like, hey, you need to sit down and do homework right now?
Yeah.
Oh.
I literally remember if I was watching TV, I'd get in trouble. If I wasn't doing homework, Yeah.
I don't remember.
Wow,
this.
it's crazy how you.
You know why, guys? Because we were actually doing our homework. He was watching TV, and
He
they
was
were
like,
like, "Dude,
"Fine, I'll
dude,
do
just
it."
close the freaking TV and do
Get
your
out of
homework."
here.
Bro, we're getting off track, bro. Let's
Again,
get
all right,
back.
let's reel it back in. Anyways, so the moral of the story, whatever, we were extremely competitive. We always knew we had to perform well because
Yeah.
our parents would always check our grades. And it was always, why didn't you get 100? Why didn't you? What are you doing?
Yeah.
So that was that. Okay. That's just the story of immigrants, honestly. Okay. And the other question I had was, what motivated you to do well? It was obviously just, I think for me, the biggest thing was honestly to make my parents proud.
Yeah, I think
That
so.
was, I would say that was my number one. And then the number two was to just look better in front of everyone. So bad.
The same thing as like competitiveness.
Yeah.
You
It's
know, you
just
want to
the-
be.
Oh,
at
is that the
top.
same thing for what was y'all like? What
That's
was
pretty
y'all's
much-
number one? Also make parents proud, or was it like make yourself proud?
Oh.
Because that sounds healthy.
Yeah. No, I wasn't thinking about making myself proud. It was more like I just wanted to do good. I don't know. I wanted my name on the board. I wanted like, recognition, I guess, for getting good grades.
Interesting.
But I do feel like it's also like internally you start to feel like kind of disappointed in yourself if you do bad, right? Because you know that.
You have higher expectations.
Yeah, you
of
have higher
yourself.
expectations for yourself,
Mm-hmm.
It's like if you get lower grades than everybody, you're like, that's not me,
Yeah.
Like I'm smart, this isn't like
But
what should
if
be.
if I did get a lower grade, I would feel embarrassed. Like I'd feel stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd feel stupid.
I'd be like, I'm an idiot.
No, yeah, for sure.
dude.
I was always just craving like smart. But which like I think that's
think
another
that
episode. Is
really
that healthy?
mattered to me, like being known as like, oh, you're a smart kid in class. Like
Guys.
I could not. Yeah.
Which is another thing, right? It's almost like we are always seeking validation.
Yeah. But it's normal. I think.
Arian,
kids
what
do
about
that.
you?
Seeking
give me one right
validation. I mean, yeah.
It's right here.
Validation.
But validation like a variety of ways, right?
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So
I still seek validation.
now let's get into what was something that what worked for you. Let's get into the study tips, right? For someone that is, we'll start with. Let's start with high school, right? For
Dude, but
someone
like
in
let's be honest, right? Like
Yeah.
high school was easy, right? For us.
Get out of here. No, it wasn't. I feel like I barely had time to play around. It was just constant homework.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
I think compared to college, high school was easy.
Yeah.
But I do remember being like overwhelmed by how much work I had.
I thought college was
Every
easier.
day was like, dude, you're gonna give me homework too. Like every single.
I think
class.
in middle school I had that because I was doing like a lot of other stuff at the same time. But it wasn't because like the material was hard. It's just I had to like do it all, like so much of it. you know?
Right.
Wait, so high school was like easy for you, like
Dude,
a breeze?
high school was easy, bro. Like, I had no idea how anybody
What about
struggled in
AP
high school.
That
World
makes me
History?
so mad.
Huh?
What about AP World History?
Oh, that one guy.
No, the same thing. It's just you need to like read a bunch of stuff, but the material, like understanding it isn't difficult. It's just like facts.
Okay, well,
I thought college was hard. College was
Arian's
like
one of the people that I hated in high school because Arian was top
this is
10
easy.
and this kid is being like, it was so easy. Really?
So that's why I don't know if I can give like study tips for high school because I didn't really have any like. I feel like I didn't have any like study skills really.
Okay, then how about for high school? Because like it's been a while. How did you study?
But
right?
Arian, you were still very structured, and you always got your work done. It's not like
So
you
there
were
was
just
something
chilling.
like what were some things that y'all did that got you to where you needed to be?
just to make sure that you got all your work
Bro,
submitted.
Arian's acting like he
I-
didn't study all the time.
Dude, I didn't study like you do your homework and that's how you study. Like that's how I thought in like high school.
Yeah, but doing your homework.
Do your homework.
Do
I mean,
your homework,
what can I
guys.
say? I mean, we'd have homework every night and we'd have to like do it. So
Well,
Okay.
do my homework.
Okay,
a
every
but
night.
lot
the
of
thing is-
people don't do their homework.
think-
They get it off the internet. So,
So,
maybe that makes
How did
life
you?
harder.
All right, what made the information stick for you? I feel like this is. I'm over here thinking, wow, this is great because like Arian got into an Ivy League, but this kid is saying
No,
it was
I mean, it's
easy.
fine. It's
we need
fine.
some tips, bro. We
I don't
need
know
some
about high
tips.
school. I can give for college.
No, we're not
Bro,
there yet.
bro, I don't know, bro.
Let him be.
Dude, I knew like if I do my homework, then I'll know the material.
Okay, how about
you know?
this?
I'm
If you had
telling
to
you,
say,
that might be the thing. In high school, just do your work. And
Dude,
you
like
will
think
probably
about
do
it. It's
well.
like if you're watching this, like I feel like people that are watching this are pretty smart, like good at school. Like the the stuff in high school is structured so like regular kids can understand it too, you know? It's like it's not
Do you think
hard,
that regular
like bro.
We're gonna get so canceled in this
stupid.
episode.
I don't know. I don't
Okay,
know
no,
what's
all right. Okay, then how about this? Because clearly everyone wants to get into an Ivy League, right? You
What
got
did
into
you
an
do?
Ivy League. What are like 3 things? If you had to tell someone that wants to get into an
Okay.
Ivy League, what would you tell
Okay, I
them
mean
to
that's
focus
different.
on?
I mean, if you're trying to get into like a top 10 school, like you probably already have really high grades. You're not even thinking about grades, right?
okay, so I was
You're-
just saying somehow get there.
Like
get
if you're trying to get
Ivy.
Ivy, you need to think about like your extracurriculars and being like great at those extracurriculars and writing like really good essays, right?
So essays,
Yeah.
extracurriculars.
Yeah, like
And
pour
grades,
yourself and
top
like don't
notch.
like take like 15 extracurriculars like a lot of people do and be like in 10 clubs, you know? It's like be really good at like specific clubs and like pour your heart and so like really want to do well in those and then just get really lucky at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
And it
sweet.
helps to be like broke. If you're broke, then it's easier. If you come from like a school that doesn't give too many like
Resources and
yeah,
whatever.
or like have a lot of people go to Ivies, it's easier too. You know, it's like that stuff is a factor as well.
I appreciate that. Like
Yeah.
you're being honest, but clearly you can tell like Aryan did the freaking work. And
Yeah, like SATs
straight up.
and stuff. I don't know how much that still matters, but like yeah, those are really important. I mean, I think that's more or as important as your GPA
Yes.
in terms like if you have a high GPA but you have a low SAT, it's kind of like a red flag.
Guys, focus on your SATs for real.
Yeah.
Like if that's
Start
one
studying
thing. Start
for that
studying early
ahead.
because that SAT score almost matters the same as your GPA, and your
Straight
GPA
up.
you accumulate over
and if
the
you have
4
like a low
years.
GPA just because like you never cared and like you never tried, but you still want to get
Kill
in a
your
good school,
ACT, SAT.
show them that you're actually super smart and get like a good SAT score.
Yeah.
So
Right.
then it'll be like, oh okay, like that makes
Right.
sense. You know.
And Aryan is like, Aryan's a put your head down and just work kind of guy, and like he doesn't really complain. So for him, it's just like I think he just did his work and always had a goal in mind to get to an Ivy League, and he just.
But
got
Ekta,
there.
you also did really, really well in. Okay, so clearly Aryan had the best grades. Ekta had the second best, and I always had the third best.
Yeah, it's okay. But the difference
But
between
how
me
did
and
you
Aryan
start-
is
oh, yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
a
You have to
freaking
try.
amount.
You
Alright,
have to
so
try.
what are y'all tips for high school?
Okay, so what was
Do
your
y'all even
Ekta, how
remember?
did
That
you
was,
do
like,
well?
30
No,
years
I
ago.
know. That was
Such
like
a long time ago.
20 years ago.
But
for
what
me.
was your tip, Ekta?
My tip in high school? Yeah, that's a tough one because I don't remember high school very well.
Maybe we need to think about like time management, or how do you motivate yourself after you come home from a long day of school?
Yeah.
Like school kind of sucks sometimes because you like, dude, especially like high school. Like you wake up at like 6 a.m. You have to go to like some sport or like some club,
Yes.
and then you have like 8 hours of school, and you have to go home and then do
But you have
homework
sometimes
for
you have
all
an
of those
after-school
classes.
activity.
It's like, bro, like well, y'all are like killing me, you know?
No, sometimes you have an after-school activity
Yeah, yeah.
and you get home at like 8 p.m.
How
but
did
there's
we
still
do that?
homework to do that you
How
need
did
to
we do
turn
that?
in. Like it's a lot of like I think in high school, yeah, I think Aryan is correct and that's like all that matters is that you make time to do your work.
Yeah, if you have
You
time
gotta-
to do
you gotta
your work,
put time to
You're
do.
good.
you will be good.
You're gonna
right?
do better than most of the high school kids if you put in time to
Okay.
do your work.
So
So
how do you do
I
that?
guess I'll say it seems like we're all in agreement with how to get into a really good school, right? From high school to college. I would say one thing, and it seems like that's something that I struggle with, but the people that I've seen successful with, they do, which is actually do your best to actually be interested in what's being taught.
Yeah, that's
You know,
huge. That's
like
huge.
in class, I would just doze off. Honestly, I get so bored. I think maybe I have some like, is it attention deficit? I don't know.
Yeah, because we're watching too much TV.
I think I might have that. But anyways, it's because while you're in class, pay attention. You know, so many people get so stuck with like writing every notes down. That was me, where I'm not even comprehending. So
Yeah.
try to actually use class for what it's for, which is comprehend, right? Like the more that's what makes it
you look
stick
have to like trick yourself into
thinking
thinking
it's
it's
interesting.
interesting.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know? Yeah, like some like example like history. Like a lot of people think like history is boring, right? But if you really get into like the nitty gritty stuff, and if you have like a
Yeah.
good teacher, that's like huge, right? Like you can start to feel more interested in what's happening because this stuff really happened to real people like a long time ago.
Yes,
You know?
yes, yeah.
Sometimes you have to like do your own like research and stuff, like find fun things about what you're learning, and it's more likely to stick,
Right.
you know?
Right.
If you're just like memorizing like by rote and just like memorizing words like on a page, it's going to be way harder
See,
for you.
And see,
right?
that's basically the kind of studier or learner I was, where I just kind of like memorized, and it works for a little bit, and then you hit a patch where you're like, what am I doing wrong? And it's literally try to figure out a way to be interested in what you're learning, and that's going to make your life much easier.
Guys, that was
Right?
such a good tip coming from Didi. Like, that is the most important
That's
thing.
huge.
And
Learn it from the person that didn't
That's, like,
implement
number
it.
one.
if I think about it, a lot of the stuff I learned in college, gone. Oh, out of my head.
Right.
I don't care. But in high school, it's like history classes and stuff. I wish I knew that now. Like the learnings that I learned in history, like even like algebra, like all of this stuff, like those are the fundamentals. And that's a strong, like you want to remember that like in the future, I feel like.
Yeah.
Versus in college, you take a bunch of courses that you're like,
And I almost feel like it,
Yeah, so pay
trying to
attention.
be interested,
Be interested.
you really get more out of it, and it makes it even more fun, right? The
Yeah.
content. Okay, so that was high school. That's the
That's what I would
you
do
simply just have to get the work done, be interested in it, and all that. What you have another
one more thing why it's so important in high school to pay attention, because in college a lot of the times you go to class, it's not really even that helpful, so you go home and you YouTube all the videos and you learn by yourself. But in high school they teach you everything you need to know in class, so you don't have to go outside, right?
Sometimes they don't.
I feel like a lot of the times they do, and the homeworks that they give are related to it because it's less like, I don't know, there's less to learn in that department.
Are we switching over to college now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Ari's like ready for
Yeah,
college.
yeah, bro.
Okay, drop your college tips. 'Cause-
College?
Yeah.
College, I feel like number one, definitely like go to the lectures, like listen to the lectures. Like you need to be great at using all of your resources. Like you can't be stuck on like, if you don't understand something from just the lecture, you can't just give up. You need to go and read the textbook. And if that doesn't work, you need to go on YouTube. And if that doesn't work, you need to go on ChatGPT.
Or go to office hours.
Yeah.
The what is it called? TAs.
Office hours are literally like
TAs.
people would pay money for that if
Dude,
it
I
wasn't
had so
free.
many times in college where I'm like, I have no idea what I'm looking at, you know? And like, I would
Facts.
eventually get it by going through a bunch of different resources, reading like different perspectives of how people teach it, and eventually it'll click, you know? If you're focused and dedicated to like figuring stuff out, it'll click, but it won't click if you just keep rewatching the same 2 minutes of a lecture. It's just
So,
not gonna work.
Almost like okay, I feel like I always come up with the most inefficient way of doing things, which is why I think learning smarter. Figure out how to learn smart.
Yeah.
It might take a little bit
Save
more
you time.
effort up front, right? Like first when you go to I used to be like, oh, I'm showing up to class, and then I get like I flunk it. I'm like, what's going on? Y'all weren't even in class, and I am, it's because I wasn't actually putting my mind. The actual hard part is not showing up to class, is to listen. Like, what are they saying? You know? Instead of being like, wow, now I can go treat myself because I went to class. It's like you didn't get anything out of that. So I would say that's one part of learning smart, right? But like you're saying, right? Don't do the same things. Try different.
Dude, and like we live in a day and age where people have like poured their heart and soul into dedicated like resources for you to learn from that are completely free, like online and stuff.
Yeah.
Like when I was taking Calc 3, you're like doing like integrals
That
over
sounds
like
so scary. Calc
3D.
3.
Yeah, it's like multivariable calc. Like that stuff can be hard for you to visualize in your head for anybody, right? But like, I mean, I had a great professor that literally made a program where you could visualize stuff and see it happen.
Fire.
But that stuff is also just online if you look, you know, if you actually try to research stuff, you know, it's not about like you have like one thing and you can only study that one thing. Like we live in an age where you have unlimited resources. Like if you really want to learn something, you'll be able to learn it. But there'll be one resource that is better tuned into how your brain works, and it'll make more sense like that way. Everyone teaches stuff differently too.
Right.
You know?
Ecto,
I think
what did you do?
I think I fell into the trap. Like, I don't think I was a very good student in college. I fell into the trap of like, I would always go to my classes, but I just wouldn't focus. So why am I even there? Like, it was a waste of
Because
time.
like, let's be honest, some of these professors,
Boring.
they mostly care about their research or whatever they're there for. They don't care about the students. They're just droning on and on through the PowerPoint, which makes me so
PowerPoint
mad.
presentations.
I have mad respect for professors where you just show up and they're talking to you and they're writing on the board.
Yeah.
Wow.
That shows at least like they care. Yeah. And then I would just like wait till the day before the homework was due, and then I would, like
Everyone's-
try and figure it out, and it was really stressful. I'd have to stay up and do it. I mean, the one thing is I always did my work, and that's how I got through college, like with decent grades. But so like what I would do differently is literally try to be more interested in what I'm learning and put like it into a perspective of like real life, because then I feel like that gets me to like pay attention more. I think also take care of my health, because if I'm tired one day, I'm not gonna go to
that's big.
class and focus. Like, it's so important for you to try to get decent amount of sleep, and like if you're going to class, make sure you're able to pay attention, or else
Straight
it's a
up.
waste of
Straight up.
time. So I think I would do that.
That's huge for me. Oh gosh, the biggest thing for me was, in college, I feel like I had a great freshman year, and the sophomore year, I just started like being really picky about what extracurriculars you choose, and be mindful of how much of your time those extracurriculars are actually taking. Because I think if you're paying for school, right?
Yeah.
Oh, and don't forget you're paying thousands of dollars.
Yes. The number one thing, I don't care what people say, that's debt. Okay? You are there to at least get out of there with a degree to get from A to B, right?
Yeah.
If you're trying to go to med school, you better make sure you have a 4.0 or whatever, right? If you're trying to whatever, know what you need to do to get to what are you trying to achieve at the end of 4 years? What do you need? Make sure you never lose sight of that, right? But I basically lost sight of that. I got into, I think, being first child, going off to college, getting away from parents. All these movies make it seem like you just gotta like party. That's, if you're not doing that, then you're not making the most out of college. No. There are plenty of so many people I know that did what they were supposed to do to get the right grades, but then they had a great time as well.
Yeah.
I feel like you will feel way better if your grades are where they need to be, and versus like you're having so much fun, but your grades are not.
How do y'all feel about that triangle? Y'all know what I'm talking about?
What's that?
Oh yeah,
Sleep,
social,
and then grades, right?
Ooh.
grades.
And you can only pick two.
out of the three.
I think that's not true at all.
Uh-huh.
I think that's like
I
an
don't
easy
think that
way
is
to
true.
generalize it.
Yeah, some people be like just making triangles.
Well, I think it's true. I think honestly, during college, even it's like my focus, just like where is it? It's nowhere to be found. I only focused when it mattered before exams, and it's like if you can learn to like focus yourself, almost anytime you're trying to do work, then you can do all three. But that's hard.
You
No.
gotta
You gotta
plan
train
your.
your brain.
hard.
You gotta
man.
plan your day
You need
out,
discipline.
honestly.
Yes,
Major.
I wish I would have planned my day out. Now I plan literally everything. I feel like I've turned into such a type A person. But when I was in college, I was not planning like that. I would just say homework is due, here, done. I should have been like, these 2 hours of my day, I'm going to do homework. These blah. Literally in college more than any other place, I think you need to time block your time.
And I was really bad at that, right? But I'd also say one other thing, like what you said, was health, right? I
Health is
figured
important.
out kind of like midway through college that I was anemic. And that's why no matter how much sleep I got, I'd be falling
Tired.
asleep.
Oh,
And
yeah, I feel
it
that.
really, I was like, what is wrong with me? Why can't I pay attention? It's please go get your at least yearly checkup.
Yeah.
Make sure you're eating, because I think I would skip meals, and it was just, but the biggest thing was I needed to be on supplements. And sometimes you need that. You need the iron
Yeah,
pills.
if you're doing all the right things and something still doesn't seem right, like go to a doctor.
Go to a doctor. Don't skimp. Like, it's so important because that affects everything. But yeah, I tried to do so many all-nighters. Never worked out.
I did
All-nighters.
never. How many
Guys,
all-nighters
I would get all excited, right? I'd be like, yeah, let's go do all-nighters. So I'd buy all these snacks. I would eat all the snacks and I'd pass out because it was all sugar.
Oh my
And then
gosh.
it would just, it affects your next day because you didn't sleep.
Yeah.
So please prioritize sleep. Please prioritize your health, right? And then be just get ahead of things. You know what I mean? Don't do all-nighters.
I don't think I ever did an
do
all-nighter.
practice quizzes.
Are y'all saying all-nighter as in like you're up for 24 hours straight? Is that
Yeah,
what y'all
pretty
talking about?
much
Yeah, I
like being
never
like,
did.
oh my gosh,
then
we're
I
gonna
did
ram
one.
all this.
I did one of those where I was up until the exam.
Yeah.
I slept at the library.
I can't do that.
It messes
It
you
just
up.
doesn't work. My brain will be fried. Like I won't be able to do anything.
Yeah, I don't even remember if I how I did on that exam because
Yeah.
it's blocked out of my memory.
Yeah. So definitely, I would say if you have a test coming up, like ramming it like the day before is never going to work out. You're going to fail the
It's
test.
like a bad
You're gonna
time
flunk.
like studying for it, and then you probably won't do well anyways. So it's like just
So-
never worth it.
Right. So pay attention in class. That already helps you. What's the other
so
one?
work on your focus. Really think about the fact that you're paying money to be here and try and be interested in your classes. And that is the priority in college. Nothing else is. That is the priority. Get your grades and then you'll start going.
And then I would also say,
Wait, is that?
you know,
Do y'all agree with
also
that?
my homeworks.
Grades are a priority in college.
I would say, I think it's, I mean, again, depends on your major.
Bro, if you're in college
do
and
what you
grades
need
aren't
to
a
do.
priority, like what are you doing? Like get
What
out
are
of
you
college.
doing? Get out.
Like
Go to
maybe it's not
something
your
else.
number one thing, but it should be like
yes,
your number
high.
two
try
thing.
and have fun,
Like,
It's a
but it should
non-negotiable.
be
Yeah.
there.
But okay, so the thing is, do your homework, right? But
And
like
take care of
actually
your
try
health.
to pay attention. I would say the best way for me to learn that I've realized now is just doing practice quizzes.
Practice
Where-
quizzes are
practice
huge. Yeah.
because you're thinking, you're coming up with all the different ways and figure out the why.
Dude, the people that
why.
really did well in
Yes.
school, the people that really did well in school, I found were people that went out of their way to find practice tests and practice questions. Like usually, like before like any test in college, like your professor will give you like one practice test. You know, there's people that went online and searched for more
Yeah,
practice
find
questions.
Oh
the years
my
before.
God.
I could never do that.
Guys,
Like that's a
I
little too
know,
much for me.
I know.
But like,
But isn't that the best way to
should.
learn?
yeah,
That is
Because
the
you
best
see
way.
the way the questions are going to be asked.
yeah.
You know, I always thought, nah, I don't need.
It's
I
about-
thought just review your homework, review your quizzes, review.
Review.
I
Do
think
the work,
college-
review. and
College,
you're gonna be good.
especially because I did engineering, the main point of that was learning how to problem solve, I think. So when you do more practice problems, you learn how to problem solve something, and then that
Right,
is the
That's
because
definitely
it
true.
makes your brain think, right?
Yeah.
And try to do those without the internet, right?
I know. Right
but
now
like,
it's
use the
hard.
internet for assistance when you're stuck, but then try to do like.
Dude,
Just think, man.
Another great practice tests are so
Yeah, that
huge.
was so
'Cause the thing is,
You're
you,
welcome,
like I've had
guys.
so many times where like I learned like the material perfectly. I'm like, bro, I don't need to do any
You got
practice
it.
questions.
And then someone asks
then
you a
you do the
different
test
one.
and you're like, bro, what is happening? Like, what?
Yeah.
I learned all this stuff. Like, why
Guess you're
can't I do
thinking.
these questions?
Guess
And
you're
it's because
thinking.
like you need like the rhythm, you know. You need like, oh, the first I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna do this, and then
You
that's
need
how I'm
to
gonna solve
practice-
this.
yeah.
You know,
Right.
it's not all just about what the material is. It's about how you solve the problems itself.
That might be the biggest tip, like ever, like out of everything. Just do. If you can't figure out why you're not getting good grades, it's like, did you practice? Did you do practice problems? I bet
Right.
that'll solve.
And like
something.
practicing takes time, right?
Yeah.
So that takes care of you practicing ahead before.
A
you
lot
know,
of
so the
times
day
I
before.
would like not even be done like studying the material, and I would just immediately just go into the practice test because it's more important to do like
just
the practice
just get
test,
me
honestly.
thinking, right?
For my PE exam, what did I do? Practice exams.
Yeah, it's not like you do, like made sure you knew 100% of the material,
No,
like bro.
because I knew that I could never remember all of it. But practice exams is like.
And
what
guys,
got me
and
through.
like again for SATs and things like that, we did practice tests.
Practice.
I did so many
right?
practice tests.
So just like there are some things that just seem so basic, but so many people don't do it.
Yeah.
They think, oh, I did my homework. Oh, I showed up to class. I should be okay.
That doesn't work in college. I think in college you need to put in a little bit more effort.
Do-
In
yeah.
high school, that
All right,
might
so
be-
like time management wise, y'all basically said that you would just wait until like the last day and then like study.
Yeah,
like-
so
That was horrible.
But then ECTA, oh, you only had one all nighter. Aryan barely did any all nighters. You guys prioritized yours. I did so many all-nighters, and I did the worst out of all 3 of them, right? So take it from me, does not work.
Plan it out.
Just
you know?
avoid it as much as
It
possible.
feels good to plan it. Yeah, we need
Because then
more
you're not
people that
stressed
plan
about the
stuff.
exam.
Yeah.
You're not stressed
I
about
wish
the
I
exam.
were the person I am now in college. Like I
Mhm.
just wish I would be
But,
like
watch
so
out,
in it.
everybody.
I would be so okay. But I did have one thing that I used to do before exams in the
Okay.
last 2 years when my classes started getting harder. Is I would create a cheat sheet for every exam, and even if I can't use it.
Mm.
So like it's literally
No, I do that too. Yeah.
Yo, that
That
reminds me
is
of,
really helpful.
did everyone take physics?
That's how I
I
studied.
hated physics. Hated physics. But did everybody take
I
physics?
did it in
It's like a
summer school, and
requirement,
like they
right?
didn't care. They gave me 100.
Guys,
Nice.
not the
You
curves.
take colleges,
Yo,
community
not
college
the
courses.
curves in college for some of the classes
Oh,
where
crazy.
everybody would get 40s and 50s.
I never understood that. I never understood
And
that, but
it's
yeah.
like, teacher,
so-
clearly everybody flunked.
Well, I
Why are
get-
you?
I-
that honestly was like some of the stupidest stuff ever
Anyways,
to me.
aren't time check?
41.
Okay. we'll
Let's
wrap
let's
this
give
up.
our like one last tip for each of us. Or?
No, I think we covered
I think
the
we're good with
tips.
the tips. I want to ask curves based on other students' performances. Do you agree with that or no? Like how if everyone
I mean, how else can you really do it, right?
you yeah,
'Cause,
you're
like
right.
the whole thing is like you want the average to be a certain number, right?
Yeah.
I guess I'm okay with that. I mean,
But do they ever curve
And
down?
look, if
I feel
everyone
like-
does bad, then there's clearly something was
Wait,
wrong.
but could they curve someone's grades down?
some classes would, but most wouldn't.
That's dirty.
But like I think in general, I feel like curves should be like the secondary thing. Like the first thing should be like, let me make a good test where like there's some hard questions and more like medium questions, some easy questions. But most of these college tests are just like everything's hard. There's a little bit of easy questions, and they
Yeah,
curve up like
and
30 points.
Dude,
It's like what?
And you're like, wait,
Stupid.
did they
Bro.
even teach this in class? Like,
I have this
where
one
am I
theory
seeing
that
this?
they're trying to find like geniuses or whatever. So like, how would you find a genius if all the tests are like relatively like average? You know, but I don't know.
Ooh. Okay, I have a good question to end it all. To end it all. If you could go back in college, what is one thing you would do differently?
Ooh, that's actually a good one.
Like grades wise.
Anything?
Grades wise.
I mean, yeah.
Grades.
That's
obviously
that's the
grades-wise.
topic. I'd be like, yeah, I'd go to more parties. I'm just kidding.
Oh, I think I would.
wouldn't, bro. I'd skip those.
What are you
think-
talking about? I love the parties.
They
All right,
were
we're gonna
fun.
have
Some of
another
them
one
were
for
fun.
like we should do because I think this episode's gonna come around back to school. We'll probably have another one about just like college experiences and any advice.
Yeah.
Okay, Arian, did you think of
I
something?
think I would go to more like office hours.
Oh,
Office hours are your chances, are your free chances to go and meet with people that are experts in their field. Like, are you really ever gonna have the opportunity again? Like, I had like so many extremely smart professors that I didn't really like go and like talk to them or whatever. I mean, maybe honestly, I don't know if I still would, but like I don't know.
Arian, that's
So you wouldn't-
You're not gonna.
If you're interested in what you're learning, that's your chance. Like they're just there to just talk to you, you know?
Yeah.
It doesn't even have to be about like the homework or whatever. You can just go and talk about like ask like what they're doing, like what they're researching, like what they find interesting in the field. It could just be like a fun way to like network.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wait, our office, I would go to the TA office hours. If I were ever struggling with homework, you literally go there, they give,
Yeah.
they basically give
Yeah.
you the
Yeah,
answer
yeah.
and they teach you like something,
Yeah.
you learn. And it's like, why would you go to the I think a lot of the times people don't go to office hours because they're scared that they're going to look dumb, that they didn't even pay attention at all. So, yeah, but I would do that.
They do give,
get
like,
your
free
homework
answers.
done.
Yeah, but I was talking more about it's like, you have access to like these really smart professors, like learn something from them,
That's true. But you just said you may not do that. It's scary to do it. Because you're like, what are you
I
going
just
to talk
didn't do it
about?
because like I didn't have any like professors I felt like a really deep connection with,
Yeah. Okay, so mine is gonna sound like wrong. Like I don't want anyone to go do something bad about it, But I would figure out.
scared.
Like I said, no. The biggest thing for me was, I would try to figure out how to focus.
Yeah.
Right. If I'm in class, I would not even bring my phone in.
Yo,
I was
for
constantly on my
real.
phone. I just just a lot of distractions. So I would just figure out how to focus and not be distracted like, ooh, who's sitting next to me? ooh, what am I wearing today? Ooh, do I look cute? Ooh, it's just get real with yourself. Try to focus. And then again, the biggest reason I couldn't focus was also health. Right? I wasn't taking iron pills. My energy was so low. I wasn't eating right. So figure out how you can focus.
Did you take notes in class?
Yeah, but then again, but that was almost distracting me. Because I've been
From, like,
typing and the
actually-
teacher's already moved on to the next
Yeah,
word.
yeah.
And I'm like, what?
You're just like, oh, I'm giving up,
So
bro. I can't. I don't want to
You're
do
like,
it
I
anymore.
can't write, or like figure out a good note taking thing. But honestly,
Taking
like
notes is hard,
some of the
bro.
smartest people I know, they don't even take notes.
I would rather, I wish that they would record everything so where I could sit there and just absorb information afterwards.
And
All
then
my
review.
classes were, well, most of them were recorded.
So,
Wow.
but then a lot of professors do allow recorders. So that's what I would do. Honestly, I would love to just bring my recorder, distractions free, and just try to focus and listen, and ask questions. I was always like too shy, now
still
I'm
not
not. I feel like
asking
that's
No,
the
it
thing.
do be like awkward sometimes.
That's something, yeah, because you're always like, I don't want to be that girl, because everyone hates the person that asks so many questions,
But
right?
you don't have to ask so many. Sometimes it's helpful.
Yeah, but
I've honestly never had a professor be mean about a question. They're
Never.
always
They're like,
excited
"Thank
to answer.
goodness."
Thank goodness someone finally said
yeah,
something.
because they're probably
'Cause
like,
they're
dude,
presenting
everybody
and they
hates
want
me.
Yeah.
Someone's probably putting me on TikTok.
Yeah.
I think they generally love it when you show interest, but
Yeah.
don't care about who's in that class. Focus on learning for you.
And you're paying for it.
It's
Yeah,
for
might as
you.
well ask a question.
It's you and the learning content.
Yeah.
Absorb it, and some people took pills and stuff to focus. But anyways, hey, but
Don't do that.
Wait,
before
what
you do
was the
that,
point
that's
of
what I'm
class?
saying, and that's why I didn't want it to, because there were a lot of people that would take, is it Adderall?
Yeah.
They would take that.
Dude, I've had Adderall
Somebody-
No, I haven't had Adderall. I was gonna say I've had Adderall offered to me so many
Oh, yeah, you
times,
told me.
yeah.
Guys,
Wait, you too?
no, yeah. So literally,
not hanging
bro.
out
But
with?
this was right before a
No,
test.
people didn't
It's
know.
actually a friend. What? Okay.
It'd be
He's like
you're-
my best
everyone's
friend.
all in the library studying for the same test, and someone's walking around offering people Adderall and stuff.
Crazy,
So,
bro.
guys, no.
So that's what I'm saying.
No.
Especially because of isn't there an opium addiction? You never know
Bro,
what.
don't
is-
take anything that someone just
Don't-
hands you.
do
bro.
not.
Oh, please do
No,
not do that.
right before a test, I had someone be like, "Hey, Nisha, do you want to split one?" And I'm like, "What the?" No. So
Yeah.
there are some people that actually need to take it. So if it's prescription, take it. Right? You got to do what you got to do to focus.
Yeah, that's
there you go.
different.
But please do not be taking substances.
Yeah.
Try
We
to
shouldn't
do
even
all
need
the
to say
natural
things.
methods.
Don't just take random things that people hand you.
Because
That's why I wanted to be
At the end of the
careful
day-
about this.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like,
And then-
focus, and they're like, oh.
Oh, I know something about people.
Because it's not sustainable. What, you're going to get through this one exam or whatever, and then what? After that, how are you going to do it? It's not sustainable. It's doing something to your brain. Don't think it's doing nothing to your brain. It's impacting
Yes,
it.
sir. All right.
Not be getting mad.
Well,
What
guys.
was your?
Oh.
I already
you-
said,
Oh.
What was it?
go to TA office hours.
What?
That was
You
mine,
barely-
bro. What?
Dude, I never heard Acta say it. Why are you
I know, but
stealing?
that- I mean,
Wait,
that's-
guys,
you
I
still- yeah,
literally
yeah, yeah.
said, Aryan said,
No,
go
Aryan
talk to
talked
your
about it.
professor. And I
Okay,
said,
yeah,
go
yeah,
to
yeah.
TA office
Why
hours.
did you say TA office hours?
Because they will help you do your homework.
They'll give you
No
answers.
facts,
yeah,
because
yeah.
they're
They'll
basically
straight
students,
up-
right?
They're not gonna let you go without answering your question. They're gonna do everything to help you, or else you can't.
And honestly, I feel like some TAs are just more approachable than the professors, right? Because the TAs are just like other PhD students or master students
Yeah,
or
they're
even like
younger.
seniors, right? So they're more approachable. But
Yep.
anyways,
All right.
guys, I know it was kind of all over the place, but I think you can.
That's a good
you
episode.
There's
got,
some
like, a
good
lot-
stuff in
This
there.
is look,
Yeah.
we've done it. You know where we're all today now. Graduated. I'll say that.
That's true.
And then, of course, Aryan went to Ivy League. Ekta went to an amazing school. I went to an amazing school. I would
We
say
can say
too.
what schools we
Fine.
went to.
Yeah, why not? Okay, I am an Aggie.
I am a Longhorn.
I'm a lion. No one knows
Yeah,
what that is.
really? All right. Well, with that, I hope you guys have a great day. And
We'll see y'all next
bye.
week. Bye.
Peace.